The stars burned silently over the frozen world of Terran 6, where the first human warship fell from the sky. It came like a wounded beast, fire trailing behind it, screaming across the night. Every eye in the galaxy turned toward that flame, because everyone knew what it meant. The humans had gone to war. For centuries, the other species of the Galactic Union had studied humanity like a strange experiment, unpredictable, emotional, and dangerous. But the humans had kept peace. They had joined the Union, shared their technology, and promised to never fight again. That promise was broken the moment the Odyssey fell. Inside the burning ship, Captain Mira Vance pulled herself from the wreckage. Her ears rang. Smoke filled the bridge. The emergency lights flickered red across broken faces and shattered glass. "Status!" she shouted, voice raw. No answer came. Her second officer, Lieutenant Rowe, coughed blood and whispered, "We were attacked. Not pirates. Union ships." Mira froze. Union ships? Their allies. Outside, the snowstorm raged. The Odyssey had crashed deep in the mountains of Terran 6. Half her crew was gone. The rest were scattered, hiding or dying. Somewhere up above, in orbit, the Union fleet still burned bright, hunting for survivors. No one in the galaxy understood why the Union had turned on Earth. Some whispered it was fear. Others said it was jealousy. Humans had advanced too fast, reached too far, built ships that outpaced even the old empires, but no one expected them to fight back. The galaxy thought humans were soft now, too civilized. They were wrong. Far above, on the bridge of a Union dreadnought, Admiral Kelrin watched the smoke rise from the planet below. His second-in-command approached carefully. "Sir, the human vessel is destroyed. Do we proceed with the purge?" Kelrin's eyes were cold. "We must. If even one of them escapes, they will come for us." He remembered what humans had done before they joined the Union. The wars, the fire, the relentless survival. They were the only species that had ever destroyed themselves and still rebuilt. To Kelrin, they were monsters wearing kind faces. Back on the ground, Mira limped through the snow, clutching a plasma rifle. Her breath froze in the air. Every step crunched under her boots. Behind her, she could hear faint voices, survivors calling out in the storm. She followed the sound until she found a group huddled around a burning engine core. "Captain," one shouted, relief flooding his voice. "We thought you were dead." "Not yet," Mira said. "But we will be if we stay here. We need to reach the mountain base before they find us." "How many of us are left?" "Less than 20, she said quietly. The survivors fell silent. Above them, thunder rolled. No, not thunder. Bombs. The Union fleet was cleansing the crash site. Every moment counted. They gathered what weapons and supplies they could and began the long climb toward the peaks. The storm cut at their faces, freezing their hands. But fear burned hotter than the cold. As they moved, Mira's mind raced. Why had the Union attacked? Why now? There had been rumors, secret meetings, trade disputes, whispers that Earth was building something called Project Helios. But those were just stories, weren't they? The ground shook suddenly. A massive explosion lit the valley below, turning night into day. Mira turned to see the wreck of the Odyssey vanish in a ball of fire. Her ship, her home, and was gone. One of her soldiers, a young man named Hayes, whispered, "They're erasing us, Captain. They want no trace left." "Then we'll give them something they can't erase," she said. At that moment, every surviving human on Terran 6 made a silent promise, not just to live, but to make the galaxy remember what it meant to provoke Earth. Hours later, as dawn broke, Mira's group reached the hidden mountain base, a small outpost built years ago during exploration. Inside, the old system still worked. The power hummed weakly. A single comm tower blinked in standby. Mira wiped frost from the controls and activated it. "This is Captain Mira Vance of the UES Odyssey. We are under attack by the Galactic Union, requesting immediate support from Earth Command." Static. Then a faint voice came through. Broken but alive. "Captain, this is Earth Command. We read you, barely. You're not the only one. Multiple colonies are under fire. We're declaring DEFCON 1. The Union wants war. They'll get it." The words hit her like a pulse of fire. Earth had decided to fight back. The crew stood frozen. None of them had ever believed this day would come. For decades, humanity had built peace treaties, trade routes, and alliances. They had shared medicine, technology, art. Now all of that was gone, burned away in a single night. Outside, the sun rose over Terran 6. Its light cut through the clouds, glinting off the ice and metal wrecks scattered across the snow. The humans inside the base stared out in silence. Somewhere above those clouds, fleets were already moving, missiles arming, soldiers preparing. The galaxy watched from a distance, billions of eyes filled with fear. They had seen what humans were like in peace, but now, for the first time in centuries, they were about to see what humans were like in war. And deep inside the mountains, Mira whispered to herself, "If the galaxy wants to remember us as monsters, then we'll show them what monsters can do." The transmission from Earth ended. The war for survival had just begun. The wind screamed through the mountain peaks as Mira Vance and her remaining crew prepared for the coming battle. Terran 6 was frozen and lifeless, but it would be their first stand, a place where the galaxy might witness the beginning of humanity's wrath. Inside the hidden base, soldiers checked their weapons, their hands trembling from cold and fear. Plasma rifles, energy grenades, and emergency supplies were all they had. But fear was something humans had learned to turn into strength. Mira looked at her crew, seeing determination flicker in tired eyes. "We have no choice," she said, voice steady. "The Union thinks we are weak. They think we will surrender. They are wrong. Remember this. They have never faced humans like us." A murmur of agreement ran through the group. Hayes, the young soldier who had survived the crash with her, stepped forward. "Captain, what do we do?" "They control the skies. We're trapped down here." Mira's eyes hardened. "Then we make them regret it. Every ship they fire, every fleet they send, they will see that humans fight not because they have to, but because we refuse to be broken." Above, the Union fleet glinted like 1,000 stars moving together. From orbit, the ships scanned the mountains for the remnants of the Odyssey. Dreadnoughts, frigates, and fighter squadrons patrolled the skies. They had assumed humans would be easy prey. They were about to learn otherwise. On the comm tower, Mira tried to reach Earth Command again. The signal was weak, static-filled. "Earth Command, do you read? Terran 6 is under siege. Request instructions, over." A crackle answered her. "Captain, listen carefully. You are not alone. Multiple human fleets are moving toward strategic locations. The Union underestimated us. You will survive. You will fight. You will show the galaxy what it means to make humans angry." Mira nodded, even though no one else could see it. Hope was small, fragile, but it existed. It was enough to start. As the day passed, the snowstorm began to fade, revealing the Union's patrols above. Mira's crew watched silently. They had no air support, no reinforcements nearby, only the cold mountains and their will to survive. Then came the first strike. A squad of Union fighters dove from the sky, scanning for movement. Mira shouted orders. "Take cover. Use the cliffs. Don't let them see all of us." The humans moved like shadows, sliding between rocks, firing only when necessary. The Union pilots grew frustrated as they found empty slopes and smoke rising from false fire pits. Humans were not surrendering. They were disappearing and striking back. Hours later, Mira called a meeting in the base. "They think they have the advantage. We do not have numbers, but we have brains, we have courage, and we have something they don't understand. Humans never give up." The crew listened, hanging on her every word. Each of them knew the galaxy expected them to die quietly. The galaxy underestimated humans. That mistake would be costly. Mira activated the base's sensors. Maps, satellite feeds, and data streams filled the screens. Using old exploration records and terrain schematics, she planned an ambush. The mountains could hide them. The Union ships relied on predictable attack patterns. Humans, unpredictable by nature, could strike anywhere. "Here," Mira said, pointing to a narrow pass between two cliffs. "The Union fleet will send patrols through here tomorrow. We will be waiting. They will see only what we let them see. Then they will learn how humans fight." Hayes looked uneasy. "We can really do this? Take down their ships with what we have?" Mira smiled grimly. "We do not take them all down. We do not need to. We only need to survive long enough for the fleet to arrive, and when it does, the galaxy will watch humans rise." Night fell and the frozen peaks grew darker. Mira patrolled the perimeter, rifle ready, senses sharp. She felt the weight of the galaxy's gaze upon her. Somewhere, Species from distant worlds observed this small human crew, thinking them insignificant. They were about to be very wrong. As midnight approached, the first Union patrols moved into the valley. Light streaked across the snow, fast ships cutting through darkness. Mira gave the signal. Energy traps, hidden mines, and carefully aimed fire erupted from the cliffs. Ships screamed, alarms blared. The humans had struck first and chaos followed. Explosions shook the mountains. Smoke rose, masking the humans' movements. Union pilots panicked, firing blindly. Mira's crew moved like shadows, unseen and deadly. Every shot, every strike, every explosion sent a message. Humans were no longer prey. Above the mountains, Admiral Kelrin's flagship trembled as his fleet was ambushed. Sensors showed too few targets. Impossible, he shouted. They should have been annihilated. And that was when the humans revealed their true weapon. Not technology, not numbers, but cunning, bravery, and unpredictability. They hit, vanished, struck again. Every Union vessel was forced to retreat, regroup, and recalculate. By dawn, the snow was red and black with fire and wreckage. Mira's crew, battered but alive, regrouped. Only half their number had survived, but the message was clear. Humans fought differently. Humans fought smart. Humans fought like they refused to die quietly. Mira looked at her crew. This is only the beginning. The Union will come back. They will try to crush us again. But now they know humans cannot be controlled. They cannot be intimidated. They will fear us. Hayes nodded, still pale from exhaustion. They will never forget this night. No, Mira said quietly, eyes scanning the horizon. They will never forget humans. When we decide to fight. Far above, the galaxy watched. Wide-eyed and fearful, the humans were rising, and the war had only just begun. The mountains of Terran 6 were quiet now, but only for a moment. Mira Vance and her crew moved through the snow, their breath misting in the cold morning air. The ambush had worked. The Union fleet had retreated, broken and confused. But Mira knew this was only the beginning. The real war was still coming, and this time, it would reach the stars. Back in orbit, Earth Command had begun its counteroffensive. Ships that had been hidden in remote colonies activated their engines and joined the human fleet. Star systems once considered peaceful became battle stations overnight. Humanity was gathering, uniting, and striking before the Union could finish its campaign. Mira stood on a makeshift command platform inside the mountain base, looking at the holographic maps of Union positions. Lines of data, satellite images, and projected trajectories filled the air. Every ship, every base, every patrol route was mapped. Every weakness noted. This is bigger than Terran 6, Mira said. The Union thinks this is a small rebellion. They think humans are limited to one planet. They are wrong. Hayes looked over her shoulder. How do we even begin to fight them in space? They have thousands of ships. We barely have a few dozen ready. Mira's eyes burned with determination. We fight smart. We hit where it hurts. We use their arrogance against them. They will never expect humans to strike first in their own space. Meanwhile, in the cold void above, the Union fleet struggled to regroup. Admiral Kelrin paced the bridge of his flagship, voice low and dangerous. They are clever, unpredictable. They hide, they strike, they vanish. How is this possible? A young officer hesitated. Sir, perhaps humans have been underestimated. Their technology is different from anything we've seen. Their tactics, unconventional. Kelrin slammed a fist against the console. Unconventional? No, it is impossible. We are the Union! We control the galaxy, and yet a few humans have turned a battlefield upside down. On Terran 6, Mira received a signal from Earth Command. The voice crackled through the comms, tense but confident. Captain Vance, your actions have given us time. The fleet is moving toward the Union's Central Command in the Orion sector. We need you to lead a strike team. Infiltrate their communications hub, disable their fleets, and disrupt their operations. Can you do it? Mira glanced at her crew, weary but alive. We can, we will. Prepare the ships. Humanity will show the galaxy that no one threatens us and survives. By nightfall, the humans were ready. The small fleet of battle-hardened ships rose from Terran 6's orbit, engines glowing blue against the dark sky. Mira's ship, the Odyssey's Legacy, led the formation. Every human aboard knew the risks. Every human knew the odds were against them. But they also knew what humans had always done when facing impossible odds. They fought. As they approached the Union's outer perimeter, the first warning alarms blared. Union fighters streaked toward them, fast and lethal. But Mira had anticipated this. The humans split, weaving through asteroid belts and debris fields, striking from unexpected angles. Every ship that the Union thought was trapped vanished, reappearing behind them in a calculated ambush. Explosions lit the darkness of space. Plasma beams cut through enemy hulls. The humans moved as one, precise, fearless, and unpredictable. Every victory, no matter how small, was a message. Humanity would not surrender and the galaxy would watch. Inside the Union flagship, panic spread. Kelrin slammed his console again. They are everywhere! No fleet formation holds. Every attack is precise, yet impossible. How do they do this? Mira smiled grimly in her cockpit. They didn't see us coming, she whispered. And that was the truth. Humans had always been underestimated. Their unpredictability, their courage, their ability to turn fear into strength. And the galaxy was about to learn the price of that mistake. Hours passed. The humans infiltrated the Union outer defense stations, using stealth drones and clever tactics. One by one, communications arrays fell silent. Patrol routes collapsed. Union forces were forced into disarray, unable to coordinate, unable to predict the next human strike. Hayes, beside Mira, looked at the destruction below. They'll never forgive us for this. Mira's eyes gleamed. No, they won't, and that is the point. For the first time, the galaxy saw humans not as a weak, peaceful species, but as warriors of unmatched resolve. Across the void, whispers spread. The humans are fighting back. They are terrifying. They cannot be stopped. As the Odyssey's legacy returned to regroup, Mira made a quiet vow. The Union had underestimated humanity for centuries. They had assumed the humans would follow the rules of war, that they would surrender when pressed, that they would accept the galaxy's judgment. They were wrong. Mira turned to her crew. Rest if you can. Tomorrow we strike deeper. The Union thinks this is a battle, but for us it is the beginning of a war they will never forget. Hayes swallowed hard. And the galaxy? Mira looked out the viewport at the stars, glittering coldly. The galaxy will watch, and it will learn to fear humans, not because we want to, but because we refuse to lose. Above them, stars stretched into infinity. Planets, moons, and fleets lay in wait. The humans were no longer just survivors. They were hunters, strategists, and symbols of defiance. And the galaxy, for the first time, realized that humanity had returned to war. And this time there would be no mercy. The stars stretched endlessly before the human fleet. Mira Vance stood on the bridge of the Odyssey's legacy, watching every blinking light on the holographic map. Each dot represented a Union installation, a patrol ship, or a hidden satellite, and each one was a target. Captain, Hayes said, voice low, how do we even begin? Their territory is massive. Hundreds of ships, thousands of soldiers. We're just a small strike team. Mira's eyes narrowed. We don't hit them where they expect. We hit them where it hurts the most. They'll never see us coming until it's too late. Her crew moved like shadows through the corridors of the ship, checking weapons, recalibrating shields, and running final simulations. Everyone knew this mission could be their last. But fear was no longer their enemy. It was fuel. The human fleet jumped into the outer sector of Union territory. Stars blurred as the ships traveled faster than anything the Union had anticipated, and then silence. The fleet emerged from the jump point into a system dominated by a massive Union space station. Kelrin's flagship had been warned. Scouts had spotted the human fleet approaching. But even the most experienced Union commanders underestimated what humans could do. Mira activated the comms. This is Captain Mira Vance, Union Command, listen carefully. You have two options. Surrender peacefully or die watching the humans rise. Static answered her. Kelrin's voice came icy and furious. Do you truly believe a handful of humans can threaten the might of the Union? Mira's lips curved into a faint smile. We are not just humans. We are every human who has survived against impossible odds, and we are coming for you. The first shots were fired before the Union could react. Human ships darted through asteroid fields, weaving between debris, striking patrols from blind angles. The Union's lasers cut across the void, but humans had already vanished. Every attack was precise, every maneuver calculated. On board the Odyssey's legacy, Mira directed the strike. Focus on their communications arrays first. Without coordination, their fleets are blind. Then we move to their supply lines, make them taste chaos. Explosions blossomed across the Union stations. Drones tore through corridors, sabotaging power conduits. Union officers scrambled, shouting orders, but their fleet was paralyzed by confusion. Kelrin's voice shook with rage. They fight like predators. Every move is unexpected. Every strike hits critical points. How is this possible? Mira watched the chaos through the viewport, heart steady. It's simple, she said. They thought we would follow the rules. They thought humans could be controlled. They are wrong. Hours passed. Union reinforcements arrived, but human tactics made them hesitate. The fleet split, regrouped, then struck again, unpredictable and unstoppable. Each Union ship destroyed sent a clear message. Humanity was not just surviving. Humanity was dominating. Deep within the Union station, officers whispered in fear. The humans, they are like nothing we have ever faced. Their strategy is alive, almost intelligent. Back on the Odyssey's legacy, Mira issued the final order for the first phase of the strike. Prepare boarding teams. Target the command hub. We take control of their system from the inside. We show them humans fight not only with weapons but with brains and courage. Hayes blinked at her. Captain, this is insane. We're walking straight into the lion's den. Mira's eyes shone with fierce resolve. That's exactly where we belong. Human fighters navigated through the station's defenses, deploying teams onto the hull. Explosions rocked the corridors as humans fought with precision, using Union technology against them. Soldiers fell, but the humans pressed on, unstoppable. Kelrin watched helplessly from orbit as his station was overtaken. His fleet struggled to respond. Every attempt was countered, every order anticipated. Humanity had become an enigma wrapped in fire and steel. Inside the command hub, Mira reached the central console. Fingers flying over controls, she shut down communications, disabled weapons grids, and left a message burned across every network in the system. The humans have arrived. The galaxy will remember us. Explosions rippled through the station, lights flickered, alarms blared, and then silence. Mira's crew regrouped on the Odyssey's legacy. The Union fleet had retreated, defeated, and humiliated. Humanity had struck deep into enemy territory, sending a shockwave across the galaxy. Hayes breathed heavily. They'll never forgive us for this. Mira stared at the stars. No, they won't, and we won't let them forget it. Humans fight not just for survival, but for every life they hold dear, for every injustice they face, for the right to exist in this galaxy. And the galaxy will see it. Above them, billions of eyes watched in awe and terror. Humans had risen from underdogs to hunters. The galaxy would never underestimate them again. Mira looked at her crew. We've shown them what humans can do. Tomorrow we push further. The Union believes they are the strongest. They are wrong, and they will learn that humans are unstoppable when cornered. The stars stretched endlessly before them, silent witnesses to the beginning of humanity's true war. And somewhere deep in the galaxy, species that had once mocked humans whispered in fear. The humans are here, and they are not stopping. The stars were quiet for only a moment. Mira Vance stood on the bridge of the Odyssey's legacy, scanning the holographic maps. Humanity had struck deep into Union territory, but now the Union was responding, and with everything it had. Alarms blared. Red lights flashed across the bridge. Incoming fleet! Hayes shouted, pointing at the view screen. Hundreds of Union ships were moving fast, blocking every escape route. They're coming for us! Mira's jaw tightened. Good, let them come. They'll see why humans fight differently. The crew moved quickly, preparing defenses and reviewing strategies. Every human knew the stakes. The Union was powerful, their ships deadly. But humans were clever, unpredictable, and fearless. That was their greatest weapon. As the Union fleet closed in, Mira activated the Odyssey's legacy's cloaking system. The ship shimmered and disappeared against the starfield. We will not fight them head-on, she said. We will hit where it hurts most, their command ships. Hayes shook his head. Captain, that's insane. We're outnumbered 100-1. Mira's eyes burned with resolve. Numbers mean nothing when the enemy underestimates you. We fight smart, we fight fast, and we fight together. The first Union squadron approached, scanning for the human ships. Sensors showed nothing until the humans struck. Fighter ships launched from hidden compartments in the asteroids, striking from blind angles. Lasers cut through the Union ships with deadly precision. Explosions erupted. Union pilots screamed over comms, confused and terrified. Their ships were destroyed faster than they could react. The humans were everywhere and nowhere. Impossible to track. Impossible to predict. Kelrin, aboard his flagship, watched helplessly. "Impossible," he whispered. "They should be dead. Every calculation, every strategy, gone." Mira directed her crew with calm fury. "Boarding teams ready. Target their command hub. Disable their communications. We end this tonight." Fighter pods shot forward, carrying humans onto the largest Union ship. Corridors erupted in fire and chaos as human boarding teams moved with deadly efficiency. Every officer who resisted was disarmed, every weapon neutralized. The Union soldiers had expected numbers and brute force. They had not expected strategy, precision, or courage. Humans moved with intelligence and instinct, turning the enemy's strength into weakness. In the chaos, Mira approached the central command console. Fingers flying, she shut down communications, redirected power, and left a message across every Union channel. Humanity fights. Humanity survives. Humanity dominates. Explosions shook the ship as humans completed their mission and retreated to the Odyssey's legacy. Union ships scrambled to regroup, but humans had vanished, leaving chaos in their wake. Hayes stared at the view screen. They're panicking. They don't know what to do." Mira nodded. "They will learn. They will all learn. Humans fight differently. We do not just survive, we adapt, we endure. We strike where the enemy is weakest, and we do not give up." Across the galaxy, species that had once mocked humans watched in fear. Entire fleets paused, rumors spreading. The humans are unstoppable. They are not just fighting. They are rewriting the rules of war. Meanwhile, on Earth Command, leaders reviewed the reports from Mira's strike. Admiral Jensen turned to her officers. "Captain Vance has done the impossible. She has shown the galaxy what humans can do. Prepare the next fleet. Humanity will not wait. Humanity will strike again." Back on the Odyssey's legacy, Mira's crew repaired damages from their boarding operation. The ship was battered but still flying. The crew was tired but alive. And that mattered. Mira looked at Hayes. "This is only the beginning. The Union believes they can contain us. They believe humans are predictable. They are wrong, and they will pay for every mistake." Hayes swallowed hard. "Do you think the galaxy is ready for this? For humans at war?" Mira smiled grimly. "The galaxy doesn't get a choice. We are humans. We fight, and now it will watch us rise." Above them, stars stretched endlessly. Fleets moved silently, systems prepared for battle. Humans were no longer just survivors or rebels. They were hunters, strategists, and symbols of defiance. And somewhere in the dark corners of the galaxy, Union commanders whispered in fear, "The humans are here. They cannot be stopped." As the Odyssey's legacy prepared to jump to the next system, Mira issued her orders. "Rest if you can. Tomorrow we hit deeper. Every planet, every fleet, every installation they have. We show them what humans fight like. The galaxy will remember this night." Hayes nodded. "And the Union?" Mira's eyes shone. "They will remember us, and they will fear us. For humanity does not surrender. Humanity does not hide. Humanity fights, and humanity wins." The stars stretched into infinity, silent witnesses to the beginning of humanity's true war. And the galaxy, for the first time, understood that humans had returned, fierce, unstoppable, and ready for battle. The stars above the Orion sector were quiet, but not for long. Mira Vance stood on the bridge of the Odyssey's legacy, her eyes scanning the holographic maps. The human fleet had struck deep into Union territory, but now the Union was ready for its counterattack. Massive fleets, orbital bombardments, and entire planetary garrisons prepared to crush humanity. "Captain," Hayes said, pointing at the view screen, "their fleet, it's enormous. Thousands of ships all converging on our position. We're outnumbered 100 to 1. Mira's jaw tightened. "Good. Let them come. The bigger they are, the harder they fall." The human fleet moved into formation, engines glowing against the blackness of space. Each ship had been upgraded, every system fine-tuned, every crew member trained for this moment. They were small in number, but unmatched in strategy and resolve. Kelrin, aboard his flagship, barked orders. "Destroy them all. Leave no survivors. The humans must be wiped out. But Mira was ready. She activated a hidden network of sensors, cloaking fields, and stealth drones. Every move the Union made was anticipated. Every strike the humans delivered was precise. The first wave of Union ships arrived, bombarding the human fleet. Explosions erupted and beams of energy cut through space. But the humans were gone, vanished into asteroid belts, hidden behind moons, reappearing behind enemy lines. Every attack hit critical points. Every maneuver outsmarted the Union's brute force. Inside the Odyssey's legacy, Mira directed her crew. Boarding teams, target the command hubs. Fighters, flank them from above and below. Use the terrain. Use their arrogance against them. They think they can overwhelm us. They are wrong. Hayes swallowed hard. Captain, their numbers, we can't, Mira interrupted. We can, because we are humans, and humans fight differently. We do not give up. We do not surrender, and we strike where the enemy least expects it. The first boarding team struck. Union ships erupted in fire as humans sabotaged engines, disabled weapons, and took control from within. Chaos spread across the fleet. Every Union officer who resisted was swiftly neutralized. Every attempt to regroup failed. Kelrin's fury grew. Impossible! Every calculation, every plan, they are everywhere at once. How can this be? Mira's eyes gleamed. It's simple, Admiral. Humans never fight the way you expect. We adapt, we endure, we survive, and we conquer. The battle raged across multiple systems. Human fleets struck, retreated, and struck again. Entire Union sectors were thrown into confusion. Systems went dark, supply lines collapsed, communications failed. The galaxy watched in awe and fear as a species they had once considered weak, dominated with brains, courage, and relentless determination. On board the Odyssey's legacy, Mira issued the final order. Prepare for the main strike. Target the Union's Central Command. Tonight we end this. We show them what humanity truly is. The human fleet moved like shadows, slipping past the remaining patrols, evading bombardments, and arriving at the Union command station. Fighters struck from blind angles while stealth teams infiltrated the station. Humans moved with precision, turning every obstacle into an advantage. Kelrin realized too late that he had been outsmarted. How do they? Mira activated the final phase. Massive EMP charges disabled weapons grids, communications, and propulsion systems across the station. Union ships were paralyzed, floating helplessly in space. The humans struck decisively, boarding the central command hub and seizing control. As Mira approached the central console, she broadcasted a message across every Union channel. Humans fight. Humans survive. Humans will not be ignored. The galaxy has learned to fear humanity. And this is only the beginning. Explosions rippled through the station, alarms blared, and then silence. Union ships were either destroyed, captured, or retreating in disarray. Humanity had won a decisive victory, turning the galaxy upside down in one calculated strike. Hayes looked at Mira, exhausted and awed. Captain, we did it. They're defeated. Mira shook her head slowly. Not defeated. They are learning. Humanity did not destroy them because we wanted revenge. We did it to survive. We did it to show that humans cannot be controlled, cannot be intimidated, cannot be ignored. And now, the galaxy will never forget it. Across the stars, species that had once mocked humans whispered in fear and awe. Entire fleets paused, planets trembled, and leaders reconsidered everything they thought they knew. Humanity had risen from underdogs to rulers of strategy, bravery, and determination. Back on the Odyssey's legacy, Mira addressed her crew. You have fought with courage, with brains, and with heart. The galaxy watched, the galaxy feared. Humanity has shown its true strength. But remember, this is only the beginning. We fight not for conquest, but for survival. We fight to protect every human life. And we fight because we will never surrender. Hayes nodded. The galaxy. It will never be the same. Mira smiled grimly. No, it will not. And that is how it should be. Humans are not just survivors. Humans are warriors. Humans are unstoppable. The stars stretched endlessly before them. Ships glimmered in formation. Smoke and fire trailed across the Union territories. Humanity had risen, not with numbers or brute force, but with cunning, bravery, and unbreakable will. And somewhere in the silent expanse of the galaxy, creatures who had once doubted humans whispered the same words in fear. They are here, and they will not be stopped. The war was over, for now. But humanity had returned to the galaxy, fierce, brilliant, and unforgettable. The universe would never look at humans the same way again.